You had notes, they had ears. You had ideas, and they listened, and I'm really excited to see what you think about the updates on this one right here. Welcome, everybody. Josh RV Nerd of Bish's RV down here at Grand Design today, getting to see what's new for 2025. And for the first time in about 3 years, they've put some new blood into the Imagine series here, and even some of their ultra popular, proven historical floor plans are benefiting from a lot of this. Like inside and out, I think it's fully facelifted and it's looking really, really good. But there's some really nice stuff going on here. Like, let's talk some serious mechanical enhancements. Like, they've gone away from the Schwintek slide system. They heard that you folks weren't a fan of that, and they said no sweat. They've gone to a slim rack slide system, which a lot of brands will use in the heavy duty bed slide, and they are really, I think, stepping it up there. They have also gone away from all the carpet, basically, across their entire family, so they're easier to clean, more pet friendly now than they've been before. Additionally, they've also changed the chassis up on this one. This is now riding on a Norco chassis, which is a Huck bolted frame system. It's not the traditional Lippert I-beam frame. So they've really literally changed this thing from the foundation up, but they didn't change their foundation, if that makes sense. We still have all those things. Like, they have that 1+3+5 retroactive transferable warranty now. They still have the Goodyear Endurance radials, the heated enclosed underbelly with a really solid extended season package. They've improved the solar also. They've joined the Go Power team basically and added that 200-watt Go Power package. They've maintained that big front pass-through with the basic docking center. They have the ladder on the back still so you can get up to the roof. The receiver hitch on the back to throw Aunt Edna there when she croaks on the family vacation. You get the idea. This model also, it's what I call the original toter home. This is my personal favorite couples camping floor plan because it's potentially half-ton towable, I think very reasonably so, but it gives you a true queen bed and a sofa and a dinette and a good kitchen. Normally in this size, you have to choose something to sacrifice, and this is basically the no sacrifices here. Miles, hey, look at that guy right there. Now, if you got good taste, you know you watch his videos too. So whether it's me, whether it's him, whatever, we all have different ideas. I've never said that I'm the only person you should ever watch. If you want to learn more about different things, make sure you check him out too. In the meantime, let's go check that out right there. How you doing, brother?
Good. How you doing, Josh?
Yeah, buddy. The thing is, this is an open concept design. They don't give you full-on privacy walls. There are a couple builders who have started doing their versions of this layout with privacy walls for the front bed. This one doesn't do that. Again, though, this one's goal was to give you like a full queen bed. Well, I don't want to say full queen because full and queen are two different sizes. A true queen bed, 60 by 80 queen bed, and a sofa and a dinette, all in one half-ton towable model. They tried to intentionally keep this thing as reasonably sized as possible, and they have been very successful in that goal, in my opinion, and based on the popularity records of this thing right here. But like every RV, it's not going to be the one for everyone. So I want to tell you what it does and what it doesn't do and try to be fair with you, you know. If this isn't the right one for you, great, no problem, you know. I'm going to go plot myself over here in the theater seat because one of the things that does is it places you straight across from this TCL Roku Smart TV. Roku's my personal favorite of the, TV streaming systems and packages. And one of the other goals of this floor plan was to find a way to give you some reasonable campsite viewing window coverage from the entry door. And notice, though, again, they've been applying so much of your feedback, like including a privacy shade in the door that last year and previously I think it was just a frosty glass door. It didn't actually have any sort of viewing in it, you know what I mean? Now this table, it's a booth dinette, but it's not the traditional knee knocker cheap pedestal post dinette. It's actually this like spring loaded hydraulic, I don't know what the exact mechanism is, but it's a table that you actually have to cinch and lock in place. It's a single leg, so it's not constantly banging into you, which is awful darn nice, you know. Now, the entry door is right next to the bed, and some folks don't like that. I get it. Again, every RV has its ups and its downs. This is something I'm glad that I don't hear anymore, which sounds like a weird thing to say, but they changed up to these blackout roller shades right here, but they don't constantly tink, 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 tink against the wall and make that annoying noise, you know? As a person who's in a lot of RVs walking around without stabilizers, I am very well acquainted with that, and I'm very glad that that is not there. Now, again, it is an open concept, but thankfully, they do give us a privacy curtain, although, you know, it is pretty sheer. You could still do a little bit of what I call shadow puppet theater through that thing. But if you need just that visual break, it can provide that. And it's kind of nice getting the bed up out of the way because you get to see that it's strutted. It's easy lift. You also get to see those household outlets on those side stands, but there are more outlets around the bed. This little tray that you're looking at on the right hand side, it can actually slide left, right to get out of the way, or you could totally remove it if you don't want it there at all. It just sort of depends on how you're going to set your storage up. And again, that is a true queen bed. So 60 by 80 true queen, normal residential replacement mattresses that are probably better than most of the backbreaker death wafers the RV industry provides are going to be very easy to slot in. Real quick, something I've noticed, it's usually not a problem, but just be aware when you are what do I want to say? Opening that slide out, when you're deploying the slide at your destination, a little pro tip from your Uncle Josh is take this curtain and if I can get a hold of it and like flip it up on the bed. And that way it doesn't accidentally get caught in the slide fascia, or just slide it away from the slide a little bit. You know what I mean? Get it out of the way. Because if it gets caught in that slim rack slide mechanism, and oh boy, that's going to be bad. And if you ask me to repeat that sound, I will. This is all pocket screwed lumber core cabinetry. I love the gravity defying overhead cabinet doors here, so you don't have to juggle that crap open with your head. And I mean, if you notice, that's actually a very good deep amount of storage there. Notice the headboard lights too. They're two-stage. They're blue and white, so you can kind of do whatever you want there. If you like the Duke colors, you can leave them 1 and 1 like that. That's the Duke colors, right? I'm not a sporter. I'm kind of just like, oh boy, I hope I get this right. Oh gosh. Anyway, working our way back around here. I'm gonna start sweeping you down toward the base of the dinette. I love this. Just the clutter cutter shoe garage right by the door. Just giving you a place to kick your shoes off right when you walk in, so you're not just dirtying up the whole place. Simple little stuff like that makes such a difference. Now, they improved their lighting package this year, which was already improved versus last year. It still is on a dimmer function, but one of the things you can do, if like this just feels a little bit like a doctor's office and a little sterile to you, you can warm it up in here tremendously. And when it's early morning, late evening, like look how that immediately changes the color of the cabinetry. And then if you want to brighten it, lighten it back up, you can do that too. Now, you can also go anywhere in between that you want. You can go warmer, you can go cooler, and you can do anything in between. It's all remote controlled. And again, all of our Tron lighting up top here, that stuff is all dimmable as well. Working our way around over here, of course, we do have central air. This is it's a 30 amp coach. That's a Coleman Mach 15,000 BTU Q series quieter air conditioner unit. Currently in the XLS family, they don't do a lot of 50 amp second air stuff. And they're kind of open to some feedback on that. Notice how we've gotten that middle armrest out of the way on the theater seat, by the way. So if you want more of a love seat function, you don't have to have an armrest between you and your significant other. But what I was getting at is leave some notes on what do you think they should do regarding 50 amp service. So my kind of nerdy input was, on an XLS, imagine, as soon as you go to a private bedroom, that to me feels like maybe that's where 50 amp service should start being offered. But what's your take? Meanwhile, since we're in the kitchen, we're going to keep cooking. That is a 10 cubic foot, 12 volt compressor fridge. Under this overhead cabinet, there is a set of power outlets there. So if you are looking for like a little bit of an appliance corner, you can. Now that's not the tallest overhead cabinet I've seen. I do prefer when power outlets are down lower where they're easier to reach myself. They're obviously not doing that here, but it's also not so bad that I think it's really going to be extremely problematic for me. They got drawers to the floors down here. It is technically a toe stubber kitchen slide, but they brought everything forward in the slide so that I don't really know that it's a problem. I've never personally used this floor plan. So let's open this up to the class. This is an extremely popular floor plan. There are going to be a lot of people who have already purchased one of these and have used one. What has your user ownership experience been like in one of these? One of the little other updates that they applied here is around that stainless farm sink, which I love the fact that they give us a full sink covered dish drying rack. They have the little soap pump, which, you know, being from the Midwest, I would naturally hook up to a dispenser for Hidden Valley Ranch. But, hey, that's just me. You might notice, though, since your water heater and stuff is under that sink, they don't have a good obvious place in the kitchen for a wastebasket. That's just one of those little kind of changes that oh shoot, I didn't mean to, I bumped that freezer door. That's what that big old bangy sound was. My fault right there. But you do have a dedicated pantry. It's just on the, basically across from the refrigerator. It can be easy to miss. I also want to make sure I give you a good look at the kitchen without all the cabinetry exploded in your face here. But that's the thing. This is not an extremely large RV. It's not super small. Ooh, look at that nice chubby dad bod. You might get a picture of me in the bedroom as well. So my friend Hunter, you probably heard of him, who makes a lot of videos. He likes to show you his bowling arm. I've got chicken arms. It's not as impressive. The other thing I thought about, here at this dealer display, every time I try to walk into or out of an RV, there's somebody there, and it feels very much like my marriage. I swear, 40% of my marriage is just standing in front of the drawer that my wife needs in the kitchen, you know. Now, this bathroom would be much easier to display for you if I used fisheye wide-angle lenses, but I don't. This is, unfortunately, that really is how big my big fat nugget of a head is right here. But I want to give them some serious credit here. Let me pop this open. 3, 2, 1, magic. And you can see all this storage space open here. In this bathroom, they give us some really decent storage capacity. But what I love is the cabinet right next to the toilet. Notice how they did a split door there. I actually left it half cracked for you just to kind of help identify and drive that home. I think that's really smart. It's fully enclosed, so your storage doesn't end up on the floor. Did you also notice under the sink? Let's take a second look at this footage. Mr. Garrett, our editor, if you could give him a second look at the plumbing connections. You do see a flex hose here. There's a lot of concerns in the RV industry about what kind of fittings and hoses. Some people don't realize you cannot always use PEX in certain cases. There's literally sometimes coding reasons why you cannot always use PEX connections or PEX lines on everything. But did you notice what they were not using was a flex hose lashed to a PEX connection? Where they do need to use a flex hose, they're using a dedicated piece created specifically for that, with unique fasteners made to do exactly what they're doing right here. They are doing it the right way. I appreciate what they're doing. Now, here's the thing. You might have noticed around the toilet, it was a little tight for me. And when I stand up in the shower, I wear the skylight as a hat. And when it gets too hot, it scalds my scalp and it burns the hairs off my nerdy little head, as you may have noticed. So there we are. Back on our way up here, one of the other really, really awesome qualities about this RV is the excellent road mode access that it provides. And that's, I think, one of the things that has always helped propel this floor plan into just extreme popularity. And again, you might notice a new slide system in place this year. We'll talk more about that outside. But notice, even when the slide is closed, the mattress doesn't butt right up against that sucker, so you can still scoot your butt around it. And this is part of the reason I call this floor plan a toter home. Because if you really follow the history of like Class C mini motorhomes, this floor plan is taken straight out of motorized RVs. Except instead of a cab and chassis, you have a front bed. But motorhomes are designed where they have to be usable and functional down the road in transit. And that's one of the things this RV does better than so many others. There is essentially nothing you cannot use in this RV while the slide is closed. And I'm going to talk more about this outside. That may actually even include sitting in the slide now. Now, if you could direct your eyes toward the bottom of the screen here, get another look at the weights and the measures. And if you look at things like, you know, even the hitch weight, the fully loaded GVW, the length, all of those factors, I think, qualify and kind of lean into the concept of this being half-ton towable for those late model tow package kind of pickups. You know, if you've got a 97 half-ton, maybe it's not quite up to the same snuff. Now we're looking at an Imagine XLS. This actually has an aluminum nose sweep up here. It's not a full-on candy-coated fiberglass nose cap like you have on Big Brother Full Imagine. Now the thing is, that is 66% thicker It's 2/3 thicker than conventional sidewall aluminum used by most of the industry. So the whole nose is basically stone guard on here. The candy-coated nose caps add cost, they add weight, they look awesome, but they don't really enhance the function of the RV. Now, once again, they have built this whole thing upon a completely different foundation this year. The entire chassis and the slide system's changing for 2025, largely, you know, at your request. But again, they didn't lose their identity. The enclosed, heated underbelly, the really solid extended season weather package, they didn't lose any of that stuff. They just changed the foundation to be a little bit more in line with, I think, what folks have been seeking here. They've maintained those Goodyear Endurance radials to give you that travel and peace of mind. And they still have anti-lock braking. Basically, so here's the thing with Imagine. All of the tandem axle Imagines, so XLS and full Imagine, have both anti-lock braking and now integrated anti-sway standard, which I think is cool. By the way, if you look just behind the front tires, you can see the sewer hose hanging down there, so they give you a place to put that. And if we look to the left over here, just in front of the rear stabilizers, you see that that's where you actually have a gas grill quick connect. Oh, my knees hurt. I got to stand up. If I could sit down longer, I'd have given you a better look at the underbelly. It is enclosed, and it's also forced air heated. So there's a little more going on. Basically, it's going to have to get super freezing and stay super freezing for a long time for this to start to become a problem. But here's the easiest way I can describe this. If you had no intention of camping when the snowflakes were flying, this RV will never be a problem for you. That's the simplest way that I can say it. Big awning. Holy crap, dude. That's a big awning. You'd be surprised the kind of RV parkour I have to do sometimes at these displays to get over here onto the poop side of the camper, climbing over wet tongue jacks, trying not to slip and bust my tuchus or anything like that. But there's some important things to see over here. Like it's a single sewer outlet, everything all your kitchen, bathroom, everything all comes right out of one location. Tankless on-demand water heater. And again, they have moved away from the Schwintek slide system and gone to a slim rack, which it works in like much of the same applications, but it seems to be pulling better service records. And one of the other interesting things on that, I don't know if Grand Design has done the testing and if they sponsor this, but that's the same slide mechanism that Brinkley uses in their bedroom slides. And Brinkley says, yeah, if you want to lay in the bed while it's closed up, you should be able to. Theoretically, I would think by that logic, you'd be able to sit in this sofa while it's retracted, but I've never gotten clearance on that from the folks here, so I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I do want to mention, though, you see their docking center over here. You might notice two of those red paddle battery disconnect switches. They have one for your house and your chassis, and one for the new dedicated 200-watt solar package, so that there are certain storage instances, like if you don't have a battery on the RV, the solar panel could try to fire up the solar controller and eventually burn it out by turning it off and on and off and on. And that solar disconnect prevents that from happening. But remember, if the disconnect is turned off, you're not charging your battery. Now, here's the thing. There's like 400 million, bajillion, trillion different builders who make this layout now, which I think is cool because I personally love it. Like Bullet and Passport give it a private bedroom. Some brands have a taller ceiling. Cougar has a bunch of equipment added onto this. But this is kind of that, like, this is the original, and this is the one that everybody seems to kind of be basing off of. But if you want to take a look at a couple of those other ones, check the links in the video description. I've got videos of a bunch of different builders of this layout. And if you're kind of curious or serious how one of these comes in, check our website. I'll leave you a link there as well. You'll be able to see MSRP and availability. In the case of a Grand Design, we're not able to publish a discounted sale price. We do have a discounted sale price, but their policies prevent us from putting that online, basically. So just to help you understand what you might be looking at there. If you go there and you see full MSRP, that ain't what we're asking for. So when you're ready, we're ready. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.